There is power in prayer. In Psalm 55 verse 16, as for me, I will call upon God. Evening and morning at noon will I pray. I will cry aloud. He shall hear my voice. So God is a prayer answering God. God is committed to prayer. Amen. Jesus one time was telling them to pray, and they felt sleepy. And Jesus said in Matthew 26:41, the spirit truly is willing. So prayer is spiritual. Prayer is a spiritual exercise. Mighty men are product of mighty prayer lives. No man is bigger than his prayer life. Holiness is displayed in public but cultivated in the closet. The power to live holy is a private cultivation but a public display. Holiness is displayed in public but is cultivated in the closet. Walking with God takes time. The value you place on prayer is known by the time you give to it. Anything of value is time consuming. Anything of great value is time consuming. Anything you give time is what is prioritized. Without priority, without taking prayer and placing prayer as premium, the apex of your desire, the zenith of your pursuit, life is a mirage, a palace of disease, a schedule of failure, every exercise ending up in futility. Every man that gives himself to prayer, every man, hear this, every man that gives himself to prayer buys the ears of God. Every man that gives himself to prayer purchases the ears of God. God's attention is not purchased with money. A cattle on 1,000 hill belongs to God. God's attention is not purchased with any form of educational background. The cattle on 1,000 hill, God made it. God owns it. The galaxies, the seas, God owns them. There's nothing material that can take God's attention. All God desires of man is communication. Call unto me and I will show you. It doesn't matter what you think you have. It is infinitesimally immaterial, irrelevantly inconsequential, invaluable as the zero behind the decimal point. When you lack the principle of communicating with God, God is looking for men to pray. He's looking for men that can call upon him. Am I speaking to somebody right now? Prayer can never be too much. Prayer does not change things. Of course, you know, one of the things I do is most of the popular, regular cliches, things we grew up to believe. After sitting down to study them thoroughly, I tell you, not everything should be acceptable. That a lie has been in office for a long time doesn't make it the truth. Longevity is not legality. Am I speaking here? They say prayer changes things. I told you, don't just accept. They say the downfall of a man is not the end of his life. It depends on where he's falling from. So don't just accept everything. You accept everything. Don't fall at all. Don't fall. Pray not to fall. Stop encouraging people with demeaning and derogatory statements. Prayer does not change nothing. Prayer does not make God more powerful. Prayer changes you till things change. Prayer changes your outlook to things. Prayer does not make God more powerful. God cannot be more powerful. Is God, is the Alpha and Omega, is the end of all things. But prayer makes you better until access is granted to you. It's like education. You don't go to school for the benefit of the school. You're going to the institution. The institution has nothing to gain. It is you that becomes better by going to school. Am I talking to somebody here? Yeah. That's why we have people who are graduates but they can't defend it. Because they have the mentality that going to school is carrying your body there but leaving your mind in the village. So they carry their body to the institution. In our organizations around the state and in the country, in those days, I used to be involved directly in employing people before we grew. When I hear some graduates talk, Jesus, I wanted to told him to told her. I said, did you leave school the certificate? He said, I said, return it, return it, return it.